Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, and this is the EVE Universe Show. It is the road to FanFest. We are in full throttle. It is April 5th, YC124, and we just got some patch notes and a dev blog. It's a lot of the stuff that we kind of already knew. It's mostly recap, but we're going to go over both the blog, and then we're going to look at the patch notes and go through all of that for everybody. So first and foremost, we have the Road to FanFest dev blog, Full Throttle. They've been doing quite a few of these. I think this is like the third or fourth of these Road to FanFest blogs that kind of help keep us informed as to what's going on. However, this one is more review than forward thinking, but then again, we're also getting much closer to FanFest now, which is sort of exciting, sort of meaning amazingly exciting. So either way, heads up, Capsuleers. EVE Online and New Eden are powering towards FanFest 2022, and the latest round of exciting updates mentioned in the Road of FanFest Ever Closing blog are now live in game, with some bonus additions based on players' feedback. Structure updates that include more ship variety in combat, balance changes to the Rockwall, stealth bombers, Proteus, a revamp to daily login bonuses, and more make up the latest volley in a string of updates leading up to and beyond EVE FanFest 2022. I do think that a lot of people, because a lot of people have been in the game for less than 2 years, and so they don't understand what FanFest is. And I just hope that everybody gets to learn it in a pretty cool way. There have been many changes to Upwell Structures since their launch in 2016, and in order to create more exciting gameplay around attacking and defending them, the updates that target the balancing of fighting in and around them are live now. The stand-up point defense battery will soon require... okay. Will soon require to use ammunition loaded into the module, as well as giving it a longer reload time. This will create a downtime for the point defense battery so that there will be windows for counterplay when small ships can drop into a fight and warp off before it's reloaded and fired again. So does that mean that it's the point defense batteries don't require that yet? They just have a blueprint? That's interesting. I don't know if that's like a just copy and paste the text. We'll have to see. In addition, the volume of the new ammo has been reduced from 5 meters cubed, rounded down to 1 meters cubed round. 5 meters cubed per round to 1 meters cubed per round. The blueprints of the ammo are now live in game, as is the reduction in damage the point defense battery can put out, making it more useful for clearing interdiction bubbles than entire fleets of small ships. It is absolutely true that, like, especially if you're bringing your new bros, if you bring a new bro fleet to a larger, bigger structure, you know, you've got them all in their E-War frigates, there's a reasonably good chance they will survive approximately 5 seconds on the battlefield. Like, no joke, because they'll land, immediately get wiped out by the PDS. And that's it. That's the end of their time there. The damage of the stand-up... the stand-up guided bomb launcher now holds fewer bombs and takes longer to reload the launcher when all of the bombs are spent. This creates windows where the bomb use is more tactical and not the primary defensive weapon a structure has in its arsenal. Yes, they actually seeded the VPOs this time. Amazing, huh? They're getting better. Not destroying computers by rewriting boots.ini. Actually seeding blueprints. Where do we go from here? All right. The damage of the stand-up anti-capital missiles have been reduced, such that Capsuleers will be more willing to field capitals during a siege. I think that's appropriate. I mean, sieges should be capitals, mostly. Attackers will be less at risk for paying more for dropping a few dreads than a structure their attacking costs, at least without defenders putting their own ships on grid. While their anti-capital use has been adjusted, the missile speed of stand-up missiles have also been increased so that they remain able to catch and damage subcapital ships. Stand-up arcing Vortron projectors, which is the XL weapon system, the big lightning bolt, has had their ability to target subcapital ships removed. As a result, they now cannot be used to purely headshot an enemy fleet commander, as well as further reinforcing their purposes as anti-capital defense. Rockwall Hot Drop and Porpoise Porpoise. The new industrial jump portal generator module for the Rockwall is also now live in client, providing it with new and powerful maneuverability and logistical tool. Mining operations across nullsec and lowsec will transform as Rockwalls can now conduit jump 30 mining ships next to them, allowing for better logistics for large-scale mining operations. That is pretty large scale. In addition, taking note of your feedback that the prospective purpose of the Porpoise is central to mining fleets, it can now join the conduit jump as part of the Rockwall mining fleet. They should put in an audio such that every single time the Porpoise goes through a Rockwall conduit jump, it just plays, thanks Dirk, or Dunk, sorry, thanks Dunk. Combined with unparalleled, or if your Porpoise has Dunk faction drones in them when they portal jump, you get like a buff to them for the first 5 minutes. Combined with unparalleled boosts and compression, along with the already powerful panic modules, and the fact that it will be able to jump to industrial sinos, the Rockwall cements itself as the most powerful mining support ship New Eden has ever seen. Power to the Proteus. Since the bolstered bulkhead's resistance buff placed the spotlight on Tech 3 cruisers, changes have been made to the once strong but recently underperforming and popular Proteus to bring it more in line with other ships in the range. Its potential has been further unlocked through an easing up of the fitting space to allow the Proteus to more comfortably fit a 1600mm plate alongside a full rack of neutron blasters without necessitating spending a valuable low slot or rig on fitting modules. The plate mass change also gives it a slight speed boost to make it a bit more mobile while armor plates are fitting, making it slightly easier to get into a position to use those blasters effectively. And as we'll hopefully see in the patch notes, this is built on the subsystems for the blasters and the plate. So it's not just all Proteuses. It's only the Proteuses that use that specific defensive module and that specific offensive module or subsystem. In addition, and again with your feedback in mind, I'll take credit for this one. The Proteus drone synthesis projector offensive subsystem has had its CPU input increased to 60 teraflops and drone bandwidth increased to 125 megabytes per second, meaning it can now field 5 heavy drones at once. Its drone bay has also had its capacity increased to 303. This allows the Proteus to compete more effectively with other similar cruisers options for its cost. Don't forget, there is no longer any skill level loss when you lose a Tech 3 cruiser. I'm actually really glad that they put that reminder on, because we pretend like just because we've told announced it, that everybody now knows it. But a good portion of the people miss any given announcement, so continuing to like bring it up usually is pretty useful. People might have come back. To celebrate these updates to the Proteus, the Inner Zone Vanguard skin is returning to the New Eden store with a 25% discount. And you can also get the Skyliner and Serpentis skins for the Proteus at 25% off too. Act fast, as these skins will only be discounted until the 12th of April, giving you enough time to buy or dust off your Proteus, give it a fierce look, and return it to glory. Yeah, exactly. What? You don't lose skill points now. There's usually somebody who finds out about that whenever it gets brought up. Stealth care. Historically, in EVE, organized groups of stealth bombers have always contributed interesting counterplay to battleships, all while showing off a very high skill cap that is well-orchestrated bombing run requires. So, as groups are building their battleship reserves, an issue fix here has increase the strength of stealth bombers as they receive a cooldown reduction for bomb launchers, meaning that they can come back for a second bombing run more rapidly. With bomb deployment skill trained to 5, a Tech 2 bomber can launch a bomb every 67 instead of 120 seconds. A Tech 1 bomb launcher will have a reactivation delay of 80 seconds, down from 144. Small adjustments will continue to be made as the meta unfolds to ensure that one playstyle doesn't become too dominant, and players can continue to enjoy more options and diversity. Feature preview system. The new feature preview system is live, allowing players to opt in and engage with complex features still undergoing active development, test driving them directly in the EVE client. This debut preview feature is a UI unification project aimed at improving consistency and creating a better onboarding experience for new players. I think this is really important to note. So this announcement is actually 2 features that are being brought into the game today. We have the feature preview system, which is a more streamlined process of being able to like turn on and off beta features and allow CCP to kind of bring attention to things that they're looking to get feedback for versus, you know, finished features. And also the UI unification project, which is the Photon UI. That is a separate feature that is they are using the feature preview system to preview. Okay. Activity within the feature is being monitored and based on feedback from Singularity Test Server. Window control has already been made permanent with more changes on the horizon. There is already plans for a compact version of certain windows, and thanks to feedback, we are looking to expand this aspect of design. Stay on the lookout for some of these margin changes coming out over the next few months. It's funny that they say margin changes, given the fact that the number one thing that everybody's seeing is the fact that the windows, the text don't stay in the windows. The features offered in a preview system are temporary and can easily be turned on or off. It is important to note that the features will not be in their final form. Check out the full blog on the feature preview system and for all the details, and be sure to give us feedback on the official forums. Speaking of which, I really wish that they had made 2 separate blogs, right? Been like, hey, here's the feature preview system. Here's how it's going to work. Here's what we want to use it for. And then have a separate blog that says, here's our UI unification project. Here's our goals. Here's why we're doing it. This is where we're at. You know, like I don't like the fact that those 2 things became one blog. Firstly, because it makes it much harder for even in the moment, you know, now it's like, oh, where's the Photon blog? Oh, it's not actually the Photon blog. It's this other blog. But think about it, like I dig through posts from 5+ years ago, right? So if those things aren't clearly indexed, I'm going to have a lot of difficulty hunting for the exact right thing that I'm looking for. Either way. Daily login revamp. Eve daily login bonus system has been revamped, bringing it more variety and better rewards every time you board your capsule and enter New Eden, as well as a fresh UI. The new rewards include over 250 brand new skins. It's like 500, isn't it? From the Halcyon Dawn and Carmine Horizon lines, as well as almost 150 returning event skins. And these will be permanent. Wait. I wonder what that means. In addition, skill points will regularly feature as part of the daily rewards instead of the separate skill point track of their previous incarnation, with an overall average number of skill points being rewarded remaining the same as before over time. I have a couple of guesses. Ready? Purity of the Throne. Valkyrie. There you go. Boom. Wait. Cedar, did it apply automatically, or was it a drop? Like, could you sell it? Speaking of text going out of position, let me fix this real quick. They apply on redeem. Okay. So you can get those old skins, but not in a way that would be disruptive to the market. Good to know. Thanks, CCP Swift, for that confirmation, too. That's really interesting. Yeah, the Carmine Horizon, isn't that? Yeah, that's the new one. But that explains some of those other skins. I knew that they put in a couple of Purity skins, and that kind of got my attention. The Valkyrie skins that just got put in. It's very possible the Doctor Who skins could show up there if they wanted to. Speaking of which, and since I've got you here, Swift, I will point out that the Doctor Who skins, the Interstellar, right? The premium ones, because there was the 2. There's the ones that you bought from the store, and then there's the ones that you earned in the game. But these ones that you bought from the store don't have a premium icon on it, even though I don't think that there's any way to get them on game. You had to pay real life money for them. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't even know if that should be a bug report or anything, but I did notice that this morning. Either way, let's keep going. Skill points will regularly feature as part of the daily rewards instead of the separate skill point track of the previous incarnation, with the overall average number of skill points being rewarded remaining about the same as before over time. And then here's a good example of the Halcyon Dawn skin on the Caracal. Yeah, that's a good point. CCP Swift says this system is designed to resist giving you duplicates, which is important because, you know, it's not like you can sell a duplicate. There will also be more versatile boosters handed out that apply a large variety of small bonuses, making them useful to all types of Capsuleer. Check out this forum post for even more details on the refresh. I did just put out a video on my YouTubes that is like the most clickbait title I've ever come up with. I was just so proud of myself, but I think it's the boosters r/Eve don't want you to know about. Either way, I have a link to my booster cheat sheet there. I've put it on the forum post and elsewhere. The previously mentioned blueprint changes to faction ships, dreadnoughts, and capital ships are taking shape after careful review of the impact that the update to compression has made to the market this March. So anybody who tells you that nobody's building capitals right now, especially like right now in particular, this is probably a bigger reason why, right? Because they've been signaling this for a couple of months now, and you know that capitals are overvalued right now. You also know that at any time they could announce the fact that it's going to be cheaper, and this isn't just a speculation. They've told you straight out that they're going to. So why would you build a faction ship right now? Why would you build a capital right now? Hold your shit and, you know, just wait another half a month, and we'll at least get an idea. And as soon as we know what it's going to be, that's going to change the markets, right? So now would be a bad time to invest in faction ships, I would say. The Hunt. The Hunt event will be returning to New Eden very soon. Any idea when the skin redemption will return to CCP channel? From my understanding, what happened was that they ran out of codes, so they need to like get that reconfigured. And the problem is that that comes from like a different wing of how everything works. So hence the non-answer that CCP Swift is giving, I think. Either way, the Hunt event will be returning to New Eden very soon, this Thursday. Discover and track down the mysterious capsules at random celestials across space for keys to Garissa's event combat and hacking sites from the 7th to the 19th of April. Garissa's Hunt outposts and Hunt data relay exploration sites can be found anywhere, and both will reward you with unique loot limited to the Hunt. For a greater challenge, head to the venal region of Caldari Losec for a more difficult Garissa's Huntmaster combat and exploration sites, and even a brand new site suited to capital ships. So that must have been where that Camion came from. This year, there will also be rare, mysterious golden capsules, which can spawn anywhere or everywhere, but are much more common in venal and Caldari Losec, dropping special loot, including multiple site keys and data vaults that you can sell to any of the empires. Mysterious capsules aren't the only... I really wish that every time they did this, they made it a little bit of a thing. You don't have to make it into a big thing where like a new structure gets made anytime. But anytime you can sell it to any of the 4 empires, I think it would be cool for us to know which empires got which. You know, like how many. That way it's just an opportunity for you to say you supported your guys, even if it doesn't come with a big prize for the winner or whatever. Mysterious capsules aren't the only pods to hunt during the event. Catch and loot player pods for a chance to loot their implants. Yeah. So, this is going to be fun. So, basically, the capsules, I have other videos about it, but the short of it is that you have to descan down the capsules. They'll be at planets and stargates and such like that. And then you kill them, you loot them. You usually just get a key, and then you have to take that key to a data site or a combat site to get the loot. and as it says, like the better stuff is in low sec. But now there's going to be these golden capsules that you can find that they themselves will contain things that you can then sell as a commodity for cash. Also, let's not forget the wandering venal site that we saw in the patch notes or in the Hobo Leagues. In fact, this brand new site suited for capital ships, I wonder if that's the venal one. I don't know. FanFest 2022 is a mere month away, and even more challenges are coming. With this round of updates, the one and the ones that have gone before, and the ones that are yet to be announced, the road to FanFest is a rewarding one that leads to a brighter future for EVE Online and for New Eden. Stay tuned and fly safe to Iceland. All right, guys, let's look at the patch notes real quick. Oh, here we go. Patch notes. Balance. We're going to kind of skim through these a little bit more. The stand-up point defense battery has received a damage reduction, and in the future, it will require ammunition. So, yeah, they're seeding the ability to build the ammunition now, but they're going to turn on the ammunition later, probably later this month, right? So, damage per cycle is reduced by 50%. Oh, here we go. Scheduled April 19th. So that's our next big patch. And that makes sense, too, because usually they do a patch to end an event, too. It will require... Because if they don't do a patch to end an event, you do things like break the agency window, I think. It will... Which, by the way, the agency window's fixed, for those of you who are questioning or wondering or worrying. It will require ammunition to fire. From now until then, you will be able to read... Yeah. The new ammunition is stand-up flak round 1. Bomb launchers have gone had their capacity reduced to 300 from 1,000, so it now holds 3 bombs instead of, I guess, 10. And their Tech 2 goes from 1,300 to 400. I keep reading these numbers backwards, like I did with the Proteus buff at first, which is why I made a really dumb tweet saying like, oh, Proteus doesn't need any drone nerfs, but it was buffs. Because I'm bad at reading. So now it holds 4 bombs instead of, I guess, 13. Reload time has been increased 6-fold to a full minute. And heavy and light guided bombs have had their bomb radius reduced to 20 kilometers, was 30 kilometers. Doesn't this make them... Doesn't that make it so they apply better? Right? I'm not silly, right? Like having it be a smaller bomb radius would mean that it applies better to smaller things. Abyssus Focus. I never get your name right, I don't think. I don't know. Well, hopefully somebody can clarify. All stand-up missile velocities have been increased by 50%. And remember, velocity is also distance, so everything shoots half again as far. Oh, I see. So you're saying the splat... I see. So not this isn't the explosion radius. This is the blast radius. So now when the bomb goes off, it damages everybody within 20 kilometers, whereas before it damaged everybody from 30 kilometers. Therefore, it is a nerf. It doesn't change damage application. Got it. Thank you. I was really confused by that. That's why I was questioning it. Stand-up anti-capital missiles have been balanced. Damage has been reduced by 50%. Damage has been reduced by 30% for the super heavy torpedo. The stand-up arcing Voltron projector can only be used against cannot be used against subcapitals. Proteus Tech 3 hybrid encoding platform system has had its power grid increased. Augmented plating system has had the mass penalty changed. And also, I think I think that was it. Drone synthesis projector subsystem. So now this is the drone bonuses that we were talking about, or that it was talking about. This is the ones I read backwards. Then the Rockwall now has the ability to use the industrial jump portal. It can now jump 30 passengers. It can do mining barges, mining exhumers, exhumers, mining barges, mining frigates, ventures, Endurus, and prospects, and the Porpoise. Wouldn't that be mining frigate and expedition frigate and the Porpoise? Okay, now I'm just being technical. Jump portal generator requires 100 teraflops of CPU, bunch of power grid, bunch of power, gigajoules. Yeah. Okay. So this is if it's not, this is if it's bridging. No. Is that right? Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, this is the one for it jumps with it, right? I was just trying to figure out why there's a maximum velocity bonus on it. Maybe because you jump and then you're stuck for 20 seconds. Maybe that's what it means. And you've got when it's bridging. Oh, so this is in bridge mode. Okay. Got it. So these stats are based on its while it's bridging status. But it also, just like the Black Ops battleship, now allows you to jump portal to drag people with you. Tracking. Is there a fuel reduction in that jump portal? The daily reward system has been revamped. Skins received from daily rewards are now permanent instead of the old limited skins. The daily reward system will automatically check what skins your characters have before and will avoid giving you duplicates unless you have at least one copy of all of the available skins. The revamped skins reward options include 260. Why did I think it was 500? New skins, including the new Halcyon Dawn and Carmine Horizons patterns, and an additional 148 returning event skins for players that missed previous events. So yeah, I'm Purity. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a... I don't think there's the range increase, but I'm pretty sure there's a fuel discount. I thought that was the big thing. I don't know about range, though. That sounds like a very unbalancing thing to do. Booster rewards from daily... But maybe. Booster rewards from daily rewards now consist primarily of the new Halcyon booster line. These powerful auto-injected boosters provide small bonuses to a large number of attributes and last 2 hours before skills applied. Yeah, that's the one that I have the cheat sheet for. Skill point rewards from daily rewards are now provided in small chunks every few days instead of being connected to a separate bar at the bottom of the screen. Filaments rewards are still available, although in smaller numbers than before. BPCs have been removed from the daily reward system. And I've also noted, I think they got rid of all of the ones that were already in. Due to the removal of slowly filling skill point bar at the bottom, a script will be run that provides all players that have logged in at least once in the last year with additional skill points in their redeeming queue based on the progress that they have achieved in the bar before the system's changed. So they're prorating you your skill points. Got it. New jump portal generator takes, I'm guessing this is 5 hours, 15 minutes, 0 seconds. 1 million trit, 5 million pyrite, 100,000 Mexilon, 550,000 Isogen, 20,000 Oxium, 40,000 Zendrine, and 150,000 Megasite, which doesn't smack to me that it would be too expensive. Well, the blueprint's 500 million. That's fun. Anybody know the approximate cost for... actually, let's see if I can do this. Eve Praisal. Will Eve Praisal parse this? Oh, it will. There you go. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So it's about 450 to 500 million to build these things. Stand up flat ground. Likewise, these guys. Nope, that's 200 per run. So yeah, like 1 million for every 200 rounds. So this thing is, so that's trivially cheap. Where am I? There we go. Behind the scenes, an important refactor has been made on how jump harmonics works. The overall gameplay experience for jump portals and conduit jumps remains the same for all players with no impact expected. This work has been made so that we may now have unlocked more potential for future for different combinations of jumps between ships and Cyno beacons, including the introduction of the Rockwall's conduit jump ability. The attribute jump harmonics is now deprecated and will be removed in a future update. You may notice several new attributes on ships and modules were introduced. That is, like, I find this patch note funny because of the sheer absence of people that have any idea how jump harmonics works in the modern age. I did look at, back in like 2010, there were people talking about it, and they like the player base knew about jump harmonics and talked about it, but it isn't talked about in this form anymore. So I bet you the vast majority of the player base don't actually even realize that this was a thing or why it was. Change the Plex icon in various locations in the game. Yeah, it's a lot flatter now. Introduce the new feature preview system. Photon UI. The word industrial, all of the industrial ships have now been renamed hauler. Small skill change descriptions. And some of the NPCs have been changed. There was an issue with the bomb deployment skill not correctly applying reactivation delay. So they're fixing that, I guess. Ship model is now correctly swapped when boarding ships whilst in full screen menu. I didn't even know that was a thing. Wormhole reflections triggered by nearby suns and explosions have been toned down. I know that there's been a lot of people with weird issues because of the reflection stuff. So that might have been a big piece of it. Fixed an issue with ambient loops not playing in some environments. Sure. Add a missing line hint guidance when reboarding. These are just like little hitches when the NPE would like break or whatever. And I do like the fact that there's a reminder to add the skill to your training queue if it's removed during the skill introduction. Game client no longer hangs when Nest is closed before it's fully loaded. That's probably good. Made adjustments to the gas decompression window to help it run more smoothly. Partially loaded things. Yeah, probe scanner scan strength tooltip now appears correctly while scanning. That's kind of nice. Corporation adverts can now be edited while there are 3 active adverts. Fleet composition will now correctly show character is docked. The number of jumps to an office now dynamically updates in the corporation window. Skin will no longer appear to be removed from the ship if the fitting window when swapping ships. That's kind of a weird one. Swapping ships will again have the arriving animation play in the fitting window. Interesting. Improved readability for Ice Belt tooltip in the agency. Tooltips no longer persist when dragging to scroll through a page in the agency. Ah, I know what that one is. Because you would have to click and drag, but if you were hovering over something with the tooltip would still be there, even if your cursor moved off of it. Sites with enemies of unknown faction no longer have broken links in the agency. We know who you are. I wonder if this is to be cheeky or because basically that they're adding in stuff, but accidentally, the agency automatically picked it up and broke itself. Calendar upcoming events are now correctly limited to only events occurring in the current or next month, because who plans for more than 2 months in advance? Certainly not CCP. No, I'm just kidding. Shortcut filter text box no longer disappears when you have used the search. Fixed an issue with gas decompression window closing after decompression is completed, and added icons for compression and decompression windows on the Neocam bar. Sweet. So that's it. That's our patch notes. We can go here for known issues. The bug has been in game for 3 years. Which one? Wait. Oh, the calendar one? However, there are still some... Oh, the bomb launcher cooldown one? I see. Halcyon G3 boosters give 3% penalty to agility rather than a 3% bonus. This will probably be fixed on downtime, more likely than not. And probably doesn't affect very many people because we've had 1 day to redeem things. And so if you were unlucky enough to get the G3 booster today, Don't redeem it today. Stand-up guided bomb launchers cannot be fit to a faction Fortizar. I can test whether or not this is a bug. I'm just kidding. The overflow window, overflow menu for too many chat tabs fails to open for chat channels with non-ASCII names. Oh boy. When adding a new contact, changing the standings via buttons does not update the text above the buttons. Probe scanner filter check marks are sometimes not being registered. And the option to enable light background does not appear when windows are stacked. Ooh. That's actually not too bad when it comes to known issues, unless there's something else going on. Do I dare look at the feedback? Oh, people are complaining about the audio. It's a EVE Online patch. Polarized sunglasses no longer required. Oh yeah, I did respond to this guy. It was really funny. He said it was released without prior notification and features that are very much still in development. I was like, if it was released without any prior notification, then why yesterday was I saying the patch is coming tomorrow and it's bringing these things with it? Okay? Just because you didn't pay attention doesn't mean it wasn't signaled. Anywho. I don't know what these people expect. I'm kidding. All right, that's not. I mean, I digress, I should say. Okay. Huh.